Awesome.
This is Rockin' with J-Man is with Drew Fortier. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just keeping busy with all my random buffoonery, if you will. And yeah, man, doing great. I'm really honored to be on the show, man. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh my God, thank you so much, man. No, it's really my pleasure. Thank you for being on my show. Thank you for taking the time.
You're awesome, Jay, man. I'm glad we got to do this.
Thank you. So congratulations on your group, Lucid.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, definitely a lot of love went into that for sure. And we got just a great group of guys together, and we all love and respect each other really much, and just have a blast together. So it really feels right, you know.
Well, hey, congratulations, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man, that is a super group with so many great artists.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got Vinny Dombrowski from Sponge, and Mike Heller from Fear Factory. Mike's in so many bands. He's in Fear Factory, he's in Raven, he's in Malignancy, and of course we've got the David Ellefson on bass.
Man, I feel so bad for David Ellefson because he's actually a personal friend of mine. He's actually
I saw the interview and all, and he sent you our book, Rockstar Hitman, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
that's awesome. Yeah, he's a good dude.
I just feel bad for him.
Oh yeah. He's, you know what though, he's doing great though. He's happy. He's like the happiest he's ever been. He's really loving the Lucid stuff, and we're hitting these conventions and all that, and he's loving getting back out there and just being himself, you know. So he's doing awesome.
I was really happy when I heard he's actually making a movie. So I was just like thinking, yes, he's finally coming. Like, you know, he's getting back into it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. We did that movie Dwellers, and then we're actually talking about doing another one too, kind of like a found footage movie. And I think we were talking about shooting that in Costa Rica. And so it's and I guess this is an exclusive, but yeah, it's called The Wanted and the Unwanted. Okay. And we're just trying to find a time, carve out some time to get down there and shoot it. And it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a funny horror movie kind of thing. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Is it gonna be something like how, because I know you try to make Dwellers feel like you're kind of like claustrophobic. Imagine like trapping and like, yeah, it's kind of like a storytelling kind of thing as you get through the story, and then you get claustrophobic and then stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Dwellers was that was crazy. And yeah, that tunnel was in Ohio, I remember. And we it was actually just one day in the tunnel. We were able to shoot all that, and then we went back for a couple other things. But yeah, it was that tunnel was creepy, especially at night. It was oh man, it was nuts. There were bats all over the place.
Oh, vampires.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally. Bats. The second the sun went down, we heard squeaking all over the place. We're like, what is that? And then a bat flies in front of the camera. Then we look up, and it's just the whole top of the tunnel is just covered in bats.
Vampires, dude. Vampires. How did you not become one? Are you already?
Who says I'm not?
How did you all hook up together? That's
actually a good story. So I've known David for a couple of years. I met him when I was in this band called Bang Tango. We did a festival together, and we played Rocklahoma together. I met him backstage, and then I realized he's like the older version of me. And I was like, oh, we're like the same, you know, we're just Midwest nice guys, you know, kind of thing. And then we just kept in touch. I did some work for his record label. And then around that time, I knew Mike Heller from this project we had called Zen from Mars. It's still not done. It's been going on for like 6 years. You know, we'll find time to finish it at some point. And so we had a couple leftover demos from that. And I met Dave in like 2016, and I met Mike in like 2014, I think. And so we had some leftover Zen from Mars demos, and one of them I sent to Dave early 2020, like, hey, you know, want to throw some bass on this? Mike played drums on it and all that, and he's like, sure. And then we're like, it's pretty cool. And I then was like, let's do some more. So next thing you know, we had like a Dropbox with like 30 demos, like just instrumental demos. And we're like, oh, this is awesome. It's like, we're gonna get to sing on this thing. And we were all like, I don't know, good question. And so the first name that popped in my head was Vinny from Sponge. I've always loved Sponge, and I just heard his voice on the music. I was like, he would be like perfect. And then I realized none of us knew him. And so I just sent the Sponge website an email with the instrumental, that first instrumental song. And then he wrote back, and well, actually before he wrote back, I was like, no, you know what? I realized why I wanted Vinny, because the demo sounded just like a Sponge song, like identical to it. And I was like, oh crap. And I was like, Vinny, don't worry about it. I apologize. No problem. Just save myself an embarrassment, and I'll just remove the song and all that. And he's like, no, man, just send it anyway. Who cares? And I was like, all right. And so I sent it, and that ended up becoming the song Hair, which is I think the current single that's out right now. And then we were like, hey, Vinny, want to do some more? And then yeah, so like in July 2020, we were all met up in LA, and it was a great time. Dave cut his bass tracks, and it was such a great experience, and we all just clicked perfectly together. It was really cool. And then it came time to try and figure out where to come out with the thing. And earlier this year, like around like January, we're like, yeah, let's go for October. So we just kept that date throughout the whole time.
Wow, sorry about that. Sorry.
Oh no, you could do.
Okay, but sometimes do you ever just think when you hear Sponge, you just think Bob?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, like Vinny should do something with SpongeBob. It like makes sense. He should do like the theme song.
Yeah, it just sounds. For some reason, when I keep hearing Sponge, I just keep. Are we talking about the secret Krabby formula? I just keep hearing Sponge.
Yeah, exactly. We should like cover the theme song live or something like that. I can picture I can picture him singing that. Lives in a pineapple under the sea.
SpongeBob. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay. I just went a little too.
You went death metal with it. That was kind of cool.
Why did I do that to SpongeBob?
Poor SpongeBob.
Was this project made during the lockdown? Was this project made?
It was. Yeah, we were in July 2020 when we were out there. It was smack dab in the middle of everything. It was just everything was shut down and all that. And we were kind of crazy for just going out to LA during that time because they got hit. That's when they were getting hit like the worst. Then we're looking at the numbers. I was like, oh, this doesn't look too good. But we were still out there, and yeah, it was made during the pandemic and all that. And I guess it was a cool thing to come out of the pandemic, I suppose.
You were 1 year old when Megadeth dropped their first album, and 7 years old when Sponge had their hit song. Did your parents listen to them?
You know what? My older brother did. He's like 11 years older than me. And so I always had that kind of trickle down to me as far as like the music and all that. So like when I was like a itty bitty teeny tiny kid, he'd always have Headbangers Ball on and all that. So like it's Ricky Rackman and that's, so like Bang Tango, that band I played for, I'm actually the same age as the band as Bang Tango. And so, but yeah, I remember them in MTV when I was a kid and all that. So see, my older brother's definitely to thank for that, for forming my musical taste for sure. My parents definitely helped with that too. They're into like Zeppelin and Sabbath and all that and the Doors. So that kind of trickled down to me as well.
It's also your brother's fault for getting you stuck into a tunnel with some crazy man-eating monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Because one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, I'm in a tunnel with a camera. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Hey, when you're gonna make your next horror movie, funny comedy, is it gonna be something like Dwellers, or is it gonna be something like a killer kind of thing about the horror? Is it gonna be something about creatures? Like
it's gonna be about like the quick plot rundown. It's me and Dave play ourselves again, and I'm this private investor gets a hold of me to kind of pump money into his Dave's coffee business. And I bring the offer to him, and it's pretty much like, hey, Dave, we need to go down to Costa Rica where the coffee beans are made, and to shoot like a little a documentary video just to kind of boost the image of the coffee and get it into like Walmart and all that and everything. So we go down there, and it's in the first half's a comedy because like I get our luggage lost because the monkeys steal it. Because these monkeys in Costa Rica. The monkeys took our luggage, and then they run off into the jungle with it. Our passports are missing, so me and David is fighting the whole time. It's really funny. and then Dave gets kidnapped, and then so I got to try and find him because it turns out the private investor is he harvests celebrity organs. So it's really funny and really weird and really a lot of left turns in it. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
But sounds definitely awesome, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. I think you'll get a kick out of it once it's all done.
Is it also gonna be like how Dwellers was like kind of like a documentary or something?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it'd be like that, like Blair Witch kind of thing.
Yeah, the Blair Witch kind of thing, or.
Yeah, oh yeah, it'd be all. And you know what? And it's a lot cheaper that way too, because all I got to do is like this could be part of the movie right now, because it's just the found footage thing. It's just like you got a camera, it's pointed, like all right, cool, that's a scene. It's so easy to shoot that stuff. Like Dwellers was only I think like it was like 5 days, like not in a row, like 9 consecutive days over the summer, like 2019 we shot that thing, and it was just this matter of like throwing the footage together to make it a story. And somehow I was able to pull it off somehow.
I actually really like those kind of movies with the camera kind of thing, where it's for some reason it makes me feel like you're kind of in it, kind of.
Yeah, it's like you kind of like along for the adventure kind of thing. It's kind of you just kind of like going through what they're going through. And
Yeah.
and it's funny too, because that Dwellers is about me being a crappy filmmaker. And so kind of funny in that way, because the movie, the way it's cobbled together, it's like breaking like the fourth wall a little bit. So it's like me being a schlub by being a schlub, playing myself as being a schlub.
I gotta say, you're an awesome filmmaker, because that movie was actually really scary, because I did get scared in the tunnel scenes, and I'm actually kind of claustrophobic. Well, I'm not claustrophobic, but what I'm trying to say is that if I get into a tight space or I don't know where I can go, I just don't like it.
No, I'm the same way, and I'm so glad you like the movie, man. I really appreciate that,
Yeah.
and it was cobbled together out of love and levity, I say, and it's there's some funny bits and all that, but I'm so glad. It still blows my mind that it counts as a movie, because it's it's strung along pretty cool, and those the tunnel stuff was a lot of fun to shoot, and kind of creepy being down there too, because there's nobody else down there. It was just pretty much how you see it in the movie. It's like, oh man, what are we gonna do?
That must have been crazy telling the guys. My brother listened to you all the time.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's yeah, it's funny because I don't think Dave's met my brother yet, but he's gonna soon. And so I'm glad that they finally get to meet, because it's like, yeah, my older brother George, he's definitely if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing all this stuff, because he got me into horror movies, he got me into all the music when I was younger and all that, and so thanks, George.
Will George be a fanboy? Is George like a, oh my god, it's Steve?
You know what? That's a good question. He might be. I might have to break out the camera and get his reaction.
Do it. I
totally
promise you'll be rich off of that. You'll be rich off of it. You don't know what this world is anymore. All about
It's all about the moment.
It's all in the moment, dude. It's all in the moment.
Totally. Yeah. You know what? I will definitely do that. I'll send it to you so we can both laugh at it.
Thank you, man. So you are pretty young. You must have grown up listening to these guys in your band. So what is it like playing with them now? What is it like?
It's crazy. Yeah, because when I was a kid, I like it's really like all my favorite bands. Like my favorite bands growing up there was Zeppelin, but then there was Megadeth, Fear Factory, Sponge, and even Faith No More. And it's funny too, because this is another exclusive for you. We the Lucid, we covered a Faith No More song, and that's gonna be coming out at some point soon. And we got a really special guest singing on it too, and from another band that I loved when I was a kid. And so I think everybody's going to get a really big kick out of that one when it comes out. But yeah, it still blows my mind to this day. Just it's in a band with these guys, and I try not to fanboy.
Oh, you don't just do that. You try to. I can just imagine you trying to fight back, like.
Absolutely, that's me all the time. It's like I just need to get it out of my system one day. Like when I'm around them, like, all right, guys, I need 5 minutes.
One day, I promise you're just gonna be used to walking around famous people, because you're gonna be famous yourself, man. You already are famous,
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I always tell people I'm just a victim of circumstance. I just like doing stuff with cool people, and it just so happens that cool people are people that I fanboy about.
Trust me, when I went to Comic-Cons, I was pretty young, and my dad did the same business, so he could allow me to actually ask questions.
Right.
I wanted to ask some questions, and I always said nice things about some of the girl actors and stuff like that. And it was a really fun time, because I got to meet very famous celebrities that people can go crazy for sometimes. And it was just such a fun time when I go to the Comic-Cons.
Oh, that's awesome. And I remember I saw some pictures of you dressed up like Captain Spaulding.
Yeah,
That was, oh,
yes.
dude, that was great. That was awesome. And we were at we were in the falls together a couple years
Yeah.
ago in Canada. And that was a great time.
Actually, the Captain Spaulding one, I actually took over the Comic-Con. What I'm trying to say is that,
I bet. I bet you did.
like they all were talking about me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just good. You had the ball cap and everything, and you had the,
Yeah.
oh, dude, oh, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's my guy. That's the guy right there. I bet, yeah, you were the talk of that Comic-Con for sure, no doubt.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. So you and Mike are the young bucks in the band. Does Dave and Vinny give you pointers on the business sometimes?
Oh, we're all pretty much on the same page because like I definitely I learned a lot from those guys for sure, and it's just kind of like just pretty much the secret is just to keep it as laid back as humanly possible. There's there's no ego in the band whatsoever. We're all equal partners in it, and just we just kind of take it as it goes, and just it's we keep the friendship above everything else. And when that's strong, everything else is just super easy, and it has been. It's been a dream with those guys, and it's just nonstop laughter too. I mean, we all got fun sense of humor, and so we're just laughing the whole time.
Man,
we're just a bunch of goofballs.
I would love meeting you guys all, like, because you guys seem so fun. You guys seem like so jokey and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'll happen, man. Like yeah, we're gonna do the East Coast, I think, in May. And
Oh,
so
May.
yeah. So you gotta come hang out with us.
Okay, sure. I'll be 11 by then, so
Yep,
maybe I
perfect.
can get a little. Oh,
Shirley Temple's for you.
I just want to say thank you for being a true friend to David Ellefson. A lot of
Oh,
people, so-called friends, turn their back on him. I just want to say thanks, man.
oh, dude, it's my pleasure, man. I remember, yeah, the day all that stuff went down. Like I called him up and I told him I was like, hey, this is the moment where you're gonna see who your true friends are. Who's gonna have your back and everything. And he found that out through all that thing too. And yeah, ever since day one, I remember I told him, I was like, listen, I know we got a bunch of stuff going on and all that, but what's going on here is more important than anything else. If all this goes away forever, if you never want to play music again, I'm there for you. You do, whatever is best for David Ellefson. That's all I wanted to see. And he made it through it, awesomely, and around like July, like he started bringing up, wanted to start doing stuff again. And I was like, yeah, well, as long as he's comfortable doing it, that's all that matters. And that's when we kind of got the plan together for the Lucid and everything. And yeah, it's yeah, I genuinely, I love David. He's probably my best friend. And yeah, it's just it feels good to seeing him smile now, and it's doing all this stuff and having a good time and joking around. And it's so cool. And this is probably the happiest I've ever seen him, even before that stuff happened. And so
Wow.
he's just happy being David Ellefson now. And that in turn, that makes me incredibly happy because I like seeing my friends happy.
He did not deserve any of that. He was such a nice guy and a talented artist. And, I really hope your band gets off so he can just come back and just like say, who's back on top?
Totally. Yeah, exactly, man. Yes, yeah. So far it's going pretty good so far. I think the next step is we're gonna shoot some music videos in December. We're gonna meet out in LA and do that, like 4 or 5 videos or something like that. And then that'll be like the next the step of the band, is kind of showing us playing together. And then after that, we're gonna be doing some shows for sure. We got I just got emails, like we got a bunch of show offers, and we're gonna be all over the place next year for sure. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Now you guys wrote Rockstar Hitman together. What was that like?
That was a lot of fun. I remember when because Dave and I kind of worked out the story, like the whole plot from beginning to the end, and then he left me to kind of fill in the twists and turns in the book and all the gory, messed up stuff. And as I was writing that, I had like the worst toothache in the world, and so I channeled that into the writing. So like a lot of it's pretty vicious and messed up. Is all because I had to get a tooth pulled. But yeah, I had a wisdom tooth that ended up dying, and there was like an exposed nerve, and it was, yeah. So that kind of channeled into the writing, and so that's why that book came out so messed up.
What? Well, you did not have to do that to those poor guys who got killed like that just because you got a toothache. What is wrong with you?
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, what would it be like if I wrote music with a toothache? It'd probably sound like, yeah, it'd probably be death metal, black
I
metal.
actually kind of had the similar thing actually. When I was young, I actually like for some reason my teeth they were just falling out for some reason. I my baby teeth just fell all out, but like so I my adult teeth didn't even have the time to grow yet. They didn't
Oh,
even
wow.
have to. So what they did, I have a lot of fake teeth in my mouth actually, but
Yeah.
it's actually mostly now since right here actually I never had a tooth right
Oh,
here and
wow.
it's fully grown. And I just actually lost one of my baby tooth right here. It's one of those it's one of the other one right there, that little the vampire one kind of.
Oh, yeah, vampire, yeah.
Yeah, I just got that knocked out, but
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
tooth pain.
regrowing. Yeah.
Yeah, tooth pain is the worst. I
Uh,
think Dave just got a tooth pulled this week, actually, I think. And but yeah, that's the because there's so many nerves in your mouth and oh man, yeah,
oh,
tooth pain is the worst.
worst. Yeah. But now it's all mostly adult teeth. There might be a little few fakes in there, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I would like to read that book. Maybe you can sign a copy and send it to me.
Yeah, whatever you do, whatever you want, man. I'll
Mhm.
make sure you get a copy of the Lucid album too, and Dwellers. Yeah, the whole thing, man. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I went a little too far in my question though on accident, but what I
No,
was
no.
oh no, sorry.
Oh, you good.
Oh, any chance of that becoming a film or TV series? Hunter Rockman or sorry,
Hunter Rockman. That's the
Hunter
sequel.
Rockman. There
Hunter
you go.
Rockman.
Rah!
Yeah, Hunter. Yeah, now there has to be a Hunter Rockman book. I think that would be pretty awesome. Let's say we could probably write it together. Hunter Rockman.
Hunter Rockman. So what happens is that. So what happens? This is like. Do you want to make it go into the ancient thing? We're gonna go into the time when Colombia invaded Vinland, America. So what happened
Yeah.
is that. So what happened is that one of the groups were attacking one of the tribes, and then while that happened, one of the witches was actually trying to make a curse on them, so it could like try to get rid of the things. While they were doing that, her daughter, the witch's daughter, one of the persons actually kills her, and then it goes on the rocks, and then she curses them, and then the rocks become a hitman kind of guy and kills them all.
Dude, you just wrote the book.
There we go, man. I told you I got a good idea. And
You
so,
do.
yeah, and maybe we can try to make a sequel where he actually tries to hunt down Colombia himself. Or
We got 2 books now. That's dude. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's really cool, man. Like I have to play this back, and I'll write this stuff down and see if we can't expand on that a little bit. I think that a Hunter Rockman that'd be really cool.
yeah, man. Accidents really do become really good. Well, they become really good accidents.
Oh, dude, that's my whole career is happy
Yeah.
accidents.
Well, what I was trying to say, any chance of Rockstar, sorry, Rockstar Punch. Rockstar Hitman. Rockstar Hit.
I kind of want to see a Hunter Rockman now. I think that should be the movie. I think that's a cool story. But Rockstar Hitman, you never know. The right person might come across it and be like, "Hey, this is cool. Let's turn it into something." And that day comes, awesome. If not, then we got Hunter Rockman to fall back on.
There you go, man. There you go. Now, you wrote your own book about your life a few years ago, right?
Oh yeah, that was I kind of wrote it as like a joke too, because I started seeing everybody coming out with these like books about themselves, these autobiographies, and I was like, maybe I'll just write one as a joke. And so I did. I wrote it in like 3 days, and that's everything up until 2018. And funnily, like all the crazy stuff ended up happening like right after the book came out. But it's all about like how I ended up in Bang. I did the Bang Tango documentary, ended up playing guitar for Bang Tango, played guitar for Chuck Mosley for Faith No More. I started acting, and all kinds of random stuff.
Wow, you're really living the true rock star actor, guitarist, rock star. I don't know what to say.
I'm just a dude.
Oh yeah, totally. And I'm just a kid who interviews adult rock bands who were famous back in the day, but they're still not famous now. Yeah, totally. We have the same energy. You're just saying. I actually do just say, hey, I'm just a kid.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah. I guess I'm still just a kid too. Technically, I don't take anything serious, man.
And I'm also very jokety. I like to take.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Jokety, the Dr. Jokety,
Dr. Jokety,
Dr. Jokety,
the joke.
the doctor's in.
You're pretty young to be telling your life story. I bet you can make another book already.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing that. Once everything starts to slow down again, I'd be like, okay, everything in the first book was yeah, so yeah, I was thinking about doing that because the first one's called Dark, Depressing, and Hilarious. So I might call this one even more dark, depressing, and hilarious.
What? All right. Also, one more thing. When would you meet up? Rock Hunter Man. When? Hit me up, dude. Hit me up.
Dude, yeah, man. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love the idea.
I'm down to write some books.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch this. Like I said, I'm gonna because it sounded like you had the story pretty fleshed out. So we got to keep in touch, man. We got to bounce some ideas back and forth. I think we could have something really cool.
All right, man. Man, I'm actually already thinking, and now that's in my head now. I really am trying to think more of it, where we can like leave off.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you had the idea for the first book, and you already got the idea for the second book. It'd be like a whole series if you wanted, man. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool. I just watched a film you did with David on Amazon, Dwellers. I liked it. I really did like. I already know you. We already did talk about Dwellers a little bit, but I really like it because it just always had that old school Blair Witch feel to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like definitely it's a straight up Blair Witch for sure. It's just like the kind of the whole documentary gone wrong kind of thing, and it's all this kind of seen through the point of view of the documentary camera. And yeah, I'm glad you liked it, man. It was yeah, definitely. I threw that thing together just kind of like it was like one of those things where like I had the idea for a while, and then one day I was like, yeah, I did it for $0. I was like, yeah, let's rope in some people and just block out a couple days and make a fun little movie. And we made it to the finish line somehow. So it was cool because I wrote it, directed it at the minute, and I ended up editing it too. And editing is the worst, man. It's the worst and I'm sick of looking at myself because like I'm in the movie, so like I had to edit all this footage together, and it's just I'm like I don't want to. And but yeah, it was every time I make a movie, I'm at the end of it, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And 2 years later, I make another movie.
You're basically like, I'm never gonna do this again. This thing just sucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The first book, the first memoir, Dr. Depressing Hilarious, it's about how much I hated making the Bang Tango movie because I have no filmmaking background whatsoever. I just started shooting stuff, and then so this next book would be like how much trouble I had throwing together Dwellers, all the obstacles.
The only thing that I actually found like different between Blair Witch and the Dwellers is that what happened is that Blair Witch wanted to find the monster on purpose, while you guys actually found it on accident because you just talked to the wrong homeless man at the wrong time. And
totally, that's 100%. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, it's characters like there's one last guy. Let's just go talk to him. He looks interesting, and then we go talk to him. He's like, oh, there's nothing going down there. I'll show you. The next thing you know, we're down there, and then monsters happen.
And then he robs you and nearly stabs you.
Yeah, he does. And that guy, the guy that plays him, his name is Dustin Bulchis, and he was in a band called Skeleton Witch. He was the drummer. And he's like, I live in Indianapolis, and that's how I met him out here. He lives out here and he runs a bar called Black Star Brewery. And he's a really cool guy. And I remember when we shot that, we actually thought we were actually getting bugged because he did such a good job. He definitely freaked us out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if just like definitely, for some reason, it just logged in my head that something just like one of you guys accidentally just punched him right in the face while you just back off, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah. In hindsight, we definitely should have just ganged up on him. It was just one guy.
It was just exactly with one knife, man. You can just getting a stab, just try to use your arm for protection, and then just punch him, and then just kick him, throw him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that kind of shows how dumb our characters were, as people, because we played like dumb versions of ourselves. Because we're all
you already are. Well, you already are dumb, so.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so like it just it just clicked right now, because like we should have just ganged up on him, but I was like, oh, that's because we're playing stupid versions of ourselves, so that's why we didn't.
You can make a drinking game out of the movie, or you have to drink every time someone says Ellefson. You would take like 200 drinks by the end.
Oh, totally. You know what's funny too? The horror hound convention actually turned Dwellers into a drinking game last year, and they had all the rules and everything. It's every time. That was one of them. I think every time somebody said Ellefson, you got to take a drink. Every time you heard a cat meow, you had to take a drink, because like in the background you hear the cats meowing. And there was like a whole list of things, and it was really cool. And it was like a live because it's during the pandemic, it was like a live screening of it, like on the internet. And so it was like they call it the Midnight Madness drinking game movie, and it had the prestige honor of being that. And the rules were hysterical. It's like every time like James got mad at Drew, you had to take a drink. So it was pretty cool.
I bet you wish you took that masturbation joke out of the movie.
You know what's funny? Yeah, because like that's because we shot that in 2019, so it was like a couple years before all that stuff happened. And then then I remember watching it, like the movie, like sometime after the whole Ellefson thing, and I was like, huh,
we effed up.
Yeah. But in hindsight though, it's David and I were just kind of joking about it, but like, hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah, we're just like, hey, it's actually kind of funny now, because he has a sense of humor about a lot of that stuff, and so now we gotta laugh heartily at it, be like, what a coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence, man. I thought like David Ellefson was like, oh my god, you are so stupid. What have you done? You are dumb.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because we were screening the movie before that stuff happened with him, and so that was, I was already in there, and then when all this stuff happened, I was like, uh-oh. And but it turned out he thought it was hysterical, like even after the fact, in that context now, because it was funny, the actor that did that was all improv too. Like I had no idea he was going to say all that, and you could hear me laughing behind the camera too, like as he's doing it. I'm like, and so we kept it in the movie because it made us laugh really hard.
Well, what's great is what's great is that he didn't take it personally at all, and you did not get fired.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we think it's hysterical. Like especially now, we're just. I brought it up recently too. It's like, I realized that scene in Dwellers, and he was like, "Oh, dude, that's hysterical." And so it's all in good fun.
What made you want to make a horror film?
It was like one of those things where it just kind of hit me out of nowhere, because it was like I saw a lot of these found footage movies coming out, like these newer ones, and they look like they have $1 million budgets, but it's supposed to be like shot like a documentary, but you could tell there's like special effects. And I'm like, what are these guys doing? And so I was like, I'm gonna try, let's make one like a real found footage movie, like just like no altered effects or anything like that, no CGI, just straight up, just let the story do the talking kind of thing. And so I just got the bug in my head. It happens like every couple of years. I kind of get the bug to just do something like that, but like just because we can. And so there was like, there's a zero budget. There's just all my acting buddies and all that, and we all got together, and I made it happen. And really happy with how it turned out, and people seem to be getting a kick out of it, and somehow it ended up winning a bunch of awards too. It's crazy.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, a quick question. Why did it take so long to reveal the Dwellers, or what do you call them? The monsters face in Dwellers. Yeah. Why did it take so long when there's like 80 million of them in there? Why?
Because there's no budget. so I tried to make it as few and far between, like we had the hands made, so it's been the hands the whole time. Then what's funny too, when you see the face, that's actually that's a shot taken. So James, the other character, he's an acting friend of mine. He directed a couple movies I was in too. I was at his house. We were doing like the voiceover dubs for some scenes, and he had this the puppet from this movie called Basket Case in his living room. It's like this monster looking thing. And so I was like, we don't show this monster in the movie at all. Yeah, how about an idea? And so I grabbed the camera and I just went like this really quick a couple of times, and then picked the best take, and that's what you see in the movie. That was literally shot in his living room.
Wow, that movie that really was no budget. That was
No budget whatsoever. I think I lost money making it.
Oh my God. That sounds like a poor movie.
100%. That's and it's a homeless movie too.
Yeah, it's so you get it right.
Exactly.
Are you still planning on making Thanks and Sorry, the Chuck Mosley movie?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
We got one interview so far with Matt Wallace, who produced all the early Faith No More albums and all that. And we got that interview probably like 2018, I think. And the truth be told, we're all still kind of grieving from Chuck passing away. Like it was so sudden, and like there's still like no closure. And me personally, I still had trouble hearing his voice, because I really loved him like very much. And we were talking about doing a documentary on him before he passed away, and he was all for it, and so was I. But it's like I think there still needs to be just a little bit more time before we dive into that one. And I talked to some of the Faith No More guys, and it's just a matter of a little bit more time, I think. And when the right time happens, it'll probably come together really quick. A lot of people love Chuck, and he had his life story is just insane. And it's crazy. But yeah, it'll happen eventually, probably not for a while though.
Hey man, just don't feel sad about it. We all die. I'm gonna die.
That's true. We're just kind of here, just kind of just kind of doing our thing until that happens, and just trying to have the best time we can.
Life is like a low roller coaster, and when the roller coaster stops, you die.
Yeah, exactly. You just you fall asleep, you don't wake up. It's like sleep is like the cousin of death. We got dark there for a minute, didn't we?
Yeah, we just got really dark there. All right, I'm sorry, children or somebody young who watches this. I'm so sorry that I made this go through your head. I messed up.
Mortality.
Immortality. Do you still have the tape of Chuck doing a Bane impression?
I do. I do. It's funny because we used to talk to each other as Bane all the time when we were doing shows, and one of the last voicemails he ever left me was him doing the Bane voice, talking about the Chuck Mosley movie. Mr. Fortier.
Oh, okay. You guys are talking about that Bane. I was thinking you were talking about the other Bane, where it was like the Russian kind of Bane.
Oh, that Bane. Oh no, yeah. This is the Batman Bane with the mask. Mr. Mosley.
I can only make gibberish sounds.
Yeah, so can I. Mr. Jagman.
Mr. Drew Fortier.
We're going to write a book called
like this.
Hunter Rockman coming soon. See, I'm still a kid too.
You definitely are, man.
Yes.
Golly.
Jiminy Jillikers.
Went a little 50s there, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, I totally went 50. Went old school. That's like old school's grandfather.
Exactly. You have a smart dude. You definitely are a kid, because I do stuff like that, like make it like sound like even like it's old. I mean,
even older than old.
Like it's like the grandfather of old school.
Exactly. It's like the old school's grandfather's uncle's cousin,
father, sister,
descendant, ancestor, past lives,
descendant, reincarnation.
Exactly. We're talking cavemen now.
We're talking just keep going on about this. Just sister, warlock,
warlock, wizards, warlock.
I just had to say something random. We were saying about ancestors. I had to go crazy.
We got to fit warlocks into Huntman rocker rock.
Oh well,
What was it
yeah.
called
I
again?
already just mentioned the warlock. But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, totally. Yeah,
yeah.
so there's gonna be warlocks in there now.
And besides, it kind of fits in it because tribes are like kind of like really religious and stuff, and they always mix. You know,
Oh
like yeah, you can always like feel like they make curses. I really am sorry about going into it, but I
oh,
just
dude.
can't help myself.
Oh, dude, you're golden, man. I'm up for talking about whatever.
What is the holdup on that project? It was getting pressed like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, about 3 years ago and all that. And I was like, it was like Chuck's wishes to do it before he passed. And so I just wanted to keep true to that. And yeah, it's, even though that was what, 2017, 18, 19, 20. Wow, I can't believe it's already 4 years almost, I think, to the
Oh,
day.
I
I think
really am old, ain't I? Huh.
yeah. Yeah, I think the ninth is when he passed. So it's like almost like exactly 4 years to the day. So yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, it did get a lot of press for sure. And yeah, it's just a matter of just giving him just probably like a little bit more time. Could be next year sometime, could be the year after that. But yeah, the documentaries always take a long time to do anyway. Like when I did the Bang Tango one, it took like 4 years to make and ended up like 400 hours of footage, and I had like 9 mental breakdowns.
Wow. Sorry about that, man.
Oh no, it was yeah, it's all good in the end.
It just, just to think about it, sometimes I just lay down in my bed and I just realize I'm a decade years old.
You are a decade.
Yeah.
Yes, you're you're going to be a decade plus one.
Yeah, decade plus one. 2 decades, 3 decades. That's what I'm just gonna name myself. 3 decades.
Yeah, exactly. How old are you? I'm 3 decades plus 4.
34. Yeah. It seems really making something simpler just to make it really just what are you doing? But
it makes it interesting too.
It kind of sounds clever.
Someone asks how old you are, I'd be like, I'm a decade plus 1, and they're gonna think a minute and they'll be like, ah, clever.
Oh, I don't know what a decade is.
I got a brain, but I don't know how to use it.
What was it like working with Chuck?
Oh, it was amazing. It was great. I really missed him very much. But we had such a great time, and the shows were so much fun. And he's I remember me and him went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame together just to check it out, and it was a great time. We went with so this will blow your mind. So Doug from Dwellers was actually Chuck's manager / Congo player, and that's how I met Doug. And so it was through Chuck. And yeah, Chuck always had us laughing. It was so much fun making Chuck laugh. I got nothing but the fondest memories of Chuck Mosley for sure.
What made you want to make a documentary on Bang Tango?
You know what? That's a crazy story. That's actually most of what that autobiography I did was about. I just happened to I was bartending in Chicago. This was 10 years ago now, and so like probably when you were itty bitty, and June of 2011, I was bartending, and it was actually at the bar I was bartending at. It was my off day. My boss had me show up, and he handed me this camera because he said Bang Tango were playing, and I was like, "What'd you call me? A what? What? Bang Tango? What?" I was like, "What's a Bang Tango?" Then I was like, "Oh, Bang Tango," because I remember my older brother would listen to him. And so I'm there, and Bang Tango's there, and when the singer comes up to me, I had long hair, and he's like, "Hey, man, you look cool," And it was like, and that's how that conversation went. And then, and then we started talking. He's like, "What's that in your hand?" I was like, "Oh, it's called the camera." And then he was like, "Hey, we're recording an album in Chicago in 2 weeks. You should come out and do like a studio documentary." And I was like, "I don't know how to do that, but okay." And so I just started showing up, and then I got a hold of the original members of Bang Tango, and then the story started coming together. And then yeah, over 4 years, I ended up getting Dee Snider to do the opening narration. I got Ricky Rackman in there, all kinds of people in relation to Bang Tango, and Yeah, it was ended up with 400 hours of footage, and they had a friend of mine, a new gun. He shot some of the footage in LA for me when I couldn't make it out there. And yeah, that was my uh that's how it went from innocence to experience for sure, as far as the filmmaking stuff, because had at that time I had zero background, and so I just learned as I went, learned how to edit, learn how to deal with sound and all that. So I just ended up doing the whole thing, and it was crazy. It was really stressful, because it was like nobody asked for a Bang Tango documentary. I just kind of took it upon myself to do it, and then I saw it through to the end, and then ended up having to release it for free on YouTube because of song clearing issues with the record label and all that. So, but I'm super duper proud of it, and people still seem to get a big kick out of it and enjoy it, and that means the world that people get a kick out of something I that nobody asked for, if you think about it.
Then after that, you joined the group. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah. Yeah. After I finished the movie, that we screened in Chicago, and they had me play guitar with them at their Chicago show for fun. And then 2 days later, the singer calls me up. It's like, "Hey, Drew, how do you feel about playing in front of 20,000 people tomorrow at the M3 Festival in Maryland?" And I was like, "I'm renting a car right now." And then I drove out to Maryland from Chicago, and sure enough, there was like 20,000 people there, and yeah, I was with them for a couple of years, and it was a great time. And I miss jamming with those guys. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that definitely did sound a lot of fun. If you just, and you did the rock thing, the when he puts his eyebrow down and then he does the.
Oh yeah.
You can do it like me. I can do it. Yeah, I wink. I got to wink to do it though. What did you say, boy?
Warlocks.
Warlocks. What was that like when you joined the group? What was that like?
Oh, it was insane. Absolutely, it was like a fairy tale, because at that point I'd spent like 4 years making the movie, and so I was like just immersed in all things Bang Tango, and then ended up getting to live the movie. And when I joined them, I was like, "Whoa, everything in the movie is true." Like as far as like all the members and all that, and it was nuts, and that's how I met Ellefson too, because
Wow.
yeah, because we did Bang Tango. We played we opened up the main stage at Rocklahoma, and it was Bang Tango, 6 a.m. Nikki Sixx's band, Megadeth, Disturbed, and Rob Zombie, and I was backstage, and I saw Ellefson, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And then we just started
Hey,
talking.
how's it
Yeah.
doing?
It's like, "Hey, how's it going, man? How
How's
you
it
doing? You having
going?
a good day? You having a good
Yeah.
day?"
You want me to get a cup of coffee? Well,
Yeah, we'll get you a cup of. Want to talk about Warlocks? We can
you
talk
want?
about Warlocks.
Yeah. You want to go for a rockin' manhunt? I don't know what I
Rock,
just said. Rockin'
Rockin'
manhunt.
Manhunt, Rockin' Manhunt. It sounds,
I,
it sounds
I
like a
don't.
clothing line.
I don't know where I don't even know where I can go with that for a story.
I'm sure it could go somewhere. I'm sure you got a great creative imagination, and I definitely sense there's a lot of cool books inside you.
Oh, thank you. I actually am writing a book about emotion, actually about in school right now, and
That's awesome.
I already got two paragraphs done. Well, not two. Well, but what I'm trying to say is that I already got a paragraph, and then I'm gonna do a second paragraph. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, once you start getting in the zone, start going with it, it just takes off. You're like,
But just gonna let you know, I kind of have bad handwriting.
oh, my handwriting is terrible.
Oh, then how would anybody read your book?
I type it.
Oh, you type it. Oh, yeah, the silly goose. What are the chances of you making a documentary on David Ellefson?
I think we talked about that once or twice.
Wow.
And you never know. It might just happen, because his career is just all like insane. He's a legend, and it might happen one day. It might happen one day soon, and it might happen. Somebody else might do it, so I don't have to. But it'll. I'm sure it'll happen one day for sure, because he's had such a storied career, and just everything he's done, and just all the Megadeth stuff, and yeah, it's just insane. And his books are crazy too. So like turning that into a documentary, it'll be, oh man, it'd be awesome.
You guys are pretty tight, and he definitely has a story to tell.
Oh yeah,
I would love to see it.
I would love to see it too, to be honest with you. maybe next time I talk to him, I'll bring it up again. Like, hey, should we do it? Maybe we should.
Maybe you should. That actually could make a lot of money though. That could make a lot of money.
No, yeah, we could shoot it like Dwellers. We could shoot it for no budget and hopefully make a bunch of money.
Yeah. And maybe you can make a horror twist in it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, like halfway through, it's like an actual documentary. Then halfway through, it just turns into like a movie, and then like people start dying.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That actually is a cool idea. I have to rope you into that one.
Okay. So now we got to think about it. What should be like the thing? Is it going to be creatures? What should it be? What should it be?
Maybe vampires or something.
David kills all the people who turned on him. David kills all the people.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Oh, wow. Yeah, the press would be absolutely losing their minds over that one.
Oh my God, and that would kind of be like a rock star hitman. That would be the rock star hitman.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like a fake out. It starts off like a David Ellefson documentary, and then it turns into him being an actual hitman. There we go.
We are geniuses.
Yes, there's the movie.
Okay, I really would try to meet up with you so we can make that Hunter Rockman.
Hunter Rockman, yes, totally. Yes. Yeah. Keep in touch, man. Just throw some ideas around.
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna keep in touch with that idea. Oof.
Absolutely.
Man, where have you been?
I know.
Where have you been in my mind?
Where have you been?
Where have you been? You definitely been in a dark corner.
Yeah, I know. I've been in many dark corners, that's for sure.
Oh, trust me, I sure have to.
Here's to us.
Here's to us. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Got a drink?
Yeah, I don't. But hey, imaginary drink.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought that was a beer. I was like, "What are you doing?"
No, this is actually.
That's a water, right?
Yeah. This is a water. It's called Liquid Death.
That's awesome.
Maybe
I gotta try that.
Maybe sponsored Liquid.
Maybe. Oh,
Maybe.
I've been meaning. I see that a lot. I've been meaning to try that. The canned water.
Yeah, it's actually what it is. It's like mountain water, actually, and it's really good. It's actually not that bad.
That's awesome. I gotta try that.
For actually the first time when I saw it, I actually thought this was beer for some reason.
It looks like a can of beer. I'm like,
it looks, and the name, like, you know how those beers always have that like kind of cursive thing.
Yeah, they got the font, and it looks just like that. And so that's like that's funny. That's cool. I gotta try that Liquid Death.
Yeah, I gotta be careful when I'm out in public. Some people like, what are you doing to your kid?
Right, yeah, exactly. I remember when I was in grade school, I used to drink I think it was like ginger ale or something like that, and ginger ale back then looked just like beer.
What?
So I'd be like, yeah, I know. So I'd be at lunch drinking a ginger ale, and the teacher would be like, "What are you doing? Is that a beer?" I was like, "No, it's ginger ale."
And then would he have to try it? Like, let me see.
It's like, let me smell it and make sure.
Smell it.
Yeah.
Why does he want to smell your mouth?
Oh no, the can of ginger ale. That would be, yeah. If he wanted to smell my mouth, I'd be like, get out of here.
What I'm trying to say is that like he would smell the can, and your mouth has been on that. Well, your lips has been on that.
That's true.
So he's technically smelling your mouth.
Exactly. That is very true.
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Just smelling his mouth. Yeah. To everybody out there, don't smell anybody's mouth.
Totally. Trust me, nobody wants to smell mine.
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to smell mine either.
No. We have another movie coming out called Trivial. What is that about? What is that?
Oh yeah, Trivial. Yeah, that's
sorry, I got.
Oh no. Oh no, you good. It's I'm acting in that one. I think we're gonna shoot it in March, and it's about this girl who kidnaps these people and ties them to chairs and asks them trivia questions. And when they start getting questions wrong, she starts like slicing them and then eventually kills them. But the story is pretty twisted too. It's there's a lot of twists and turns in it. But yeah, it's about this this woman who kidnaps these people who have done her as somebody she loves wrong and kind of tortures them.
Okay.
There's it's a really cool story. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be
it kind of sounds like a jigsaw kind of thing, or
kinda.
Instead of just like you like torturing yourself or like doing challenges, it's just you asking questions. It's like, Saw is more on physical, while your movie is gonna be more on mental.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because like we like my character like wakes up in this warehouse and it's kind of like done up like a game show, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, what's going
What?
on
So
here?
what did you do to her husband?
Um, you have to see it to find out, I guess. But or
So were
what
you a bad guy in the movie, or are you actually a good guy? Or
That's a good question. That's a good question. I guess that could go either way for sure. I'm like the fake out lead character, and
okay,
because I show up I think like 20 pages in or something like that. But it's gonna be it's gonna be really really cool. It's probably gonna be the coolest movie I will have been in for sure. And it's the story it's pretty crazy. There's so many twists and turns, and it's and James from Dwellers, he's directing it, and he's in it too, and actually a lot of people from Dwellers are going to be in it as
wow,
well. Yeah, like the detective, he's going to be in it. The guy at the very end with the sunglasses, he's going to be in it. Doug's going to be in it
okay,
from Dwellers. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and then I think there might be a couple of other people too. But yeah, a lot of us, yeah, from Dwellers are going to be in it, so it's pretty cool. It's like a reunion.
I would love to see it. And also, you know those guys that like question the detective, will not like question him. Were
Mhm.
they like Men in Black? Were they supposed to be like a Men in Black kind of thing?
That's a good question too. That's kind of I leave that up there interpretation, but like pretty much like the whole thing. There's it's kind of like the government were kind of doing something wrong in the sewers because like the movie was actually based on this movie called Chud that came out in the 80s.
Oh,
And you remember
what's
cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers?
oh okay. Also a quick question, was it them that made it, or was it supposed to be something like they just found it? They were just creatures that were made, or like the government made them.
The way I see it, because it's actually this Dwellers was actually legitimately supposed to be a remake of Chud with the guy that wrote the original,
Oh,
and then it turned out he only owned the musical rights to Chud. But for this though, I left it kind of vague. I was like, either maybe they came from, maybe it was because of a pandemic in the sewers, maybe because the government were moving nuclear waste through the sewers, and there's some kind of a government red tape that happened for them to have to keep the waste there, and so all the homeless people that live down there kind of got infected by it and turned into monsters, and so it's all kinds of different ways.
I
Are
got
they?
some evidence to go against you. So what I'm gonna say is that I remember the guy who like, well, the kind of guy that was actually kind of trapped down there,
Oh
kind
yeah.
of, yeah. The guy who just instantly got his head crushed, but or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he said, I don't know that much, but I remember that the government they always check yearly. They always check yearly.
Yeah, the EPA, they do like a yearly annual probe of the sewers where they check
And
everything
that
out
this
and all
time
that.
they found something messed up. So maybe
Yeah.
it actually is just creatures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Because then they put in the security cameras to kind of keep tabs on everything, and I guess yep, we ran into those security cameras and all that, and yeah, yeah. That's funny because that scene was actually a lot longer with that character, and he goes into a lot more with what was going on. But as I was editing it, I was like, yeah, maybe we'll have some more fun with it and maybe create some more questions instead of answers. So kind of it creates a cool conversation. Be like, what is going down there? But
It's kind of like a
actually,
mystery kind of thing, like a
yeah,
mystery.
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. And I'm actually going to do another cut of the movie too for next year. It's gonna be like an extended cut, and it's gonna be way different. So because I shot so much footage that I ended up with like maybe two and a half different movies. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So it's gonna be like the Dwellers like extended cut, like sometime next year. I'm thinking.
Are you gonna make any more movies for Ellefson Films?
Maybe. Yeah, we might do that. We're probably gonna do that wanted and unwanted thing with the organ harvesting and all that. So that would be an Ellefson Films thing. And I know Dave with Ellefson Films is producing the Nick Menza documentary, and Nick was the drummer for Megadeth, and that's I think he's heading out to LA next month to start working on that. And so that's gonna be really cool. That'll be under Ellefson Films. And then yeah, we'll probably do that other found footage movie with Dave. We go down to Costa Rica and all that, and then it's just a matter of trying to figure out the best time to do that. And it'll be a nice little vacation.
Is it gonna be another horror film?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like it's gonna start off as like a comedy, and then it's gonna get very very horror esque for sure. And then like about halfway through, so it's gonna be it's gonna be cool because Dave and I we riff off each other really good. Like, you know, we're all just a bunch of goofballs, and then halfway through it's gonna be like, Drew, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. Cute. Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, we got it. I don't want to.
I could go on for minutes.
We could just go on for hours. It's too dangerous. We could be here for years. Do you want this? You want this?
It's like a standoff. Like,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I won. By chance, would need a child star for the film because I actually am an actor myself. I'm available.
That's awesome, dude. Of course, you know, if there's a need for a kid in it at all, you're the guy.
If I'm not even, if I would be totally fine if I'm like kind of like one of the background characters. I could do something like that. Even if I'm not the star, maybe I can cameo like Mitch did in Dwellers.
Yeah, dude, of course. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, if we do this other one, we'll do kind of like a similar intro where it's like, hey, welcome back to blah 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 blah, but we'll do it with you.
Okay, thanks.
That sounds like a plan, and yeah, maybe we'll find a way to get you in it too, and that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool. What do you prefer, being a rock star, an Arthur, or or a movie star? What do you prefer? You already got 3 choices there.
I personally, I wouldn't put star after any of those things. I'm just a schlubby guy. But yeah, you know what? That's a good question because it took me a couple years to figure that out. Because like I was writing the books, and I was doing the acting stuff, and then and the music stuff. You know, it's because I played with a lot of people, but I never had anything come out yet. You know, and so the Lucid was the first thing, like the first album of the stuff, you know, they wrote all the music and all that to come out. And that's probably been the most fulfilling for sure. And it's just I was really, really proud of that thing, you know. And so yeah, probably the music. The movies are cool too, because that's something that's kind of lives on forever, you know. Same thing with the music. But yeah, I'd say, you know what, at heart, I'm probably always just going to be the musician guy for sure. I think that's the thing. We're already working on the second album too. We were already throwing demos around and all that. So probably sometime next year there might be another Lucid album.
Whoa! Wow, good for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is it pretty awesome? You're doing so many cool things. Is it so cool?
It's interesting for sure. It's just kind of this one thing kind of leads to another. It's just like like me and David get a random idea and be like, hey, I want to do this. Like, yeah, sure, okay, let's do this, and then we start doing that, and it's been pretty cool. And we got nothing really planned after this. We're just kind of seeing where things go, and but yeah, so it's looking like the Lucids are winning the race as far as like because as in the past year, Dave and I put out a book, we put out a movie, and we put out an album, and it's looking like the music is what's speaking to everybody, because horror movies are not for everybody.
Yeah,
and the books are not for everybody, but it seems like the music is where it's at though. So I think we're gonna keep on going for that, and it's gonna take that course and see how it goes.
So when can we see Lucid on tour? So when can we see that?
We are we already got a bunch of show offers, and it's looking like probably around like May. I'm thinking May. We might do one in December, but for sure, I know we got like East Coast and Midwest in May, and you would probably see us pop up on a couple festivals too, and all that. And we might do the West Coast in December. We're waiting this, or January or something like that. So very, very soon, very soon for sure. Very soon for sure. For sure.
Would be all originals, or will you throw in a Megadeth or a Sponge cover song?
Well, we might. We were talking about doing some doing some covers and all that, and it's a lot of off the wall covers too, like a lot of fun stuff where it's like, whoa, I definitely did not expect them to play that one. And yeah, and as for the Megadeth stuff, we're definitely open to it. We're up for it, and same thing with the Sponge stuff too. So no promises, but maybe for the Megadeth and Sponge stuff, but definitely there definitely will be some cool covers to kind of fill out the set.
Are you excited to get back on tour or on
I
the road?
am. I am. I haven't played on stage since 2018. And so it's because even before the pandemic, like I hadn't done a show. And so it's 18, 19, 20, 4 years. It'll be because 2022, it'll be 4 years since I got on stage and played a gig. So I'm actually really excited for it. It's plus doing it with the people I'm doing it with, I really love those guys, and so it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel right.
What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
Oh wow, favorite memory. Probably that M3 with Bang Tango, the one where Joe called me up. He was like, "Hey, you want to play in front of 20,000 people?" And I drove out there, and it just, yeah, we hopped up on stage, and there's just a sea of people, and it's like, whoa, I'm here. What am I doing here? And it was it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. That and probably Rocklahoma, where when I met Ellefson, when we opened up for Megadeth and Rob Zombie and all that. That was pretty nutty.
What is your worst? What is your worst?
Oh, same shows. No, no, I'm kidding. No, probably uh, I don't think there was ever a worse show, but there's some funny ones. Like I remember we played this one show in Colorado, and Bang Tango has two guitar players, and the amp they had me using just blew up, and so during like the first song,
Like what kind of blow up?
like it just stopped working,
Oh,
like
okay.
some kind of fuse went like bunk, and then it stopped working. And Rowan Robertson, whom I love dearly, he's the other guitar player. He was also in Dio and all that, and so he was handling everything. He caught on what was going on, and I was like, between one of the songs, like, dude, don't worry about it. I doubt anybody's even gonna notice. Let's just carry on, and I'll pretend I'm playing. And
Okay.
then, sure enough, nobody noticed that after the show, people come up to me like, "Man, you sounded great." And then I was like, "Thanks." And in my head, I was like, "You didn't even hear me play. I just pretended."
That's how you do it.
I didn't do what I play.
What is the next for you? What is the next for you?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably the second Lucid album. Probably that. 'Cause that's probably going to come together pretty quick. And that and Trivial, that movie that they're shooting in March, and then who knows? Oh, the Lucid music videos we're going to start shooting in the next month, and so I think we're going to knock out like quite a few of them in like over a weekend. I think we're getting all that planned out. So yeah, I'm excited about the music videos. That's gonna be pretty cool.
How do my followers follow you? How do my followers follow you?
You can just find me just on all the social media stuffs. Drew Fortier, DrewFortier. It's funny. My last name is so silly because you can say it so many different ways. Drew Fortier, Fortier,
Movies and books and everything. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
And they can get the Lucid new music info on your movies and books, everything there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The lucidofficial.com. That's where you could it's all that. And the Lucid's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and yeah, the books and all that. And yeah, you can just Google my name and all that stuff will pop up, and where to find it and everything. And like Dwellers is on Amazon Prime, and there's physical copies, and I think those are sold out right now, but we're gonna put them back up soon. And yeah, and then we Dave and I have a couple of convention appearances coming up. Like we're doing Midwest Monster Fest in May. Yeah, May.
Okay.
May 13th and 14th in Moline, Illinois. I think, and then we got a couple other things popping up too in that regard. I should look at my calendar.
Is Lucid putting out any cool merch?
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have t-shirts and probably like hats and stuff like that. And we had a t-shirt, but it's sold out already. But
Oh, wow.
we're gonna print some more up, and it's the L logo, which is pretty cool. And yeah, we're definitely gonna print some more of those up, and get those back on the website and everything. And what kind of merch would you want to see?
I would like to see maybe like a hoodie, stuff like that, or
Good idea.
shoes.
Shoes. That's a good idea. Oh, oh wow, you just reminded me.
Yeah.
Somebody was making a Lucid skateboard, and I forgot to email them back. I got to do that now.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah,
Is it too late? Has it been
no,
like months or just like
no, I don't think so. Yeah, it's because it's like I think there are 3 different versions of it. There's like the front cover with the kid with the pinata on the front, and then the back cover with the skull, and then another skateboard, and I think another one was just the L. So yeah, I gotta. Thanks for reminding me about the merchandise, because I gotta follow up with this guy.
You're
And,
welcome, man.
they looked really cool too, like the skateboards, and so yeah, good idea, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on my show, man. I hope the next time
anytime.
talk is at the backstage at one of your shows, man. Or maybe
Absolutely.
one of your sets on your movie.
Yeah,
You know?
dude. Yeah, seriously. Like if we do that other one, I'll figure out a way to get you in it. Either doing the opening narration thing, because like
And besides, you got David on your side because me and David know each other. So
yeah, you guys are tight, man. Yeah. You know, Dave loves you, and but yeah, I'll definitely, if we do that wanted or unwanted movie, that Costa Rica movie, I'll figure out a way to get you in there, like either like the opening narration, because it's funny because every movie I did so far has an opening narration, and so if that's the case, then you'll definitely be that guy. And if there's if we ended up you know, figure out a way, we'll definitely make something happen, man.
Okay,
I always like to get all my friends involved and stuff, so and I consider you a friend now. So
oh well, I consider you a friend as well.
That's awesome, man. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'd look. Yeah, and we'll be on the East Coast in May, so just, we got to keep in touch. I'll let you know when the shows are. Come on out to one. We'll hang out. You get to see Dave, and so yeah, man, it'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you know, it was nice talking to you, man.
You too, Jam, man. It was an honor being on your show. And
oh well, thank you. It was your pleasure, man. We're just trying to nice each other out right now.
I know, right? It's like, oh no, after you,
no, gentlemen.
Indubitably, yes.
Yeah, giga.
Giggity.
Giga. All right,
Giga.
all right. See you, man.
Nice. All right, you take care, Jay, man. You too, buddy.
Bye.